All right. All right, traders, welcome to VantagePoint YouTube channel. I'm finishing up my day here and running through some of the stock forecasts. And I don't know if you caught yesterday's live. If you didn't catch yesterday's live, you might want to subscribe to the VantagePoint AI channel on YouTube and just check that video. It's in the lives on the videos. We talked about a couple of stocks yesterday, one of them being Palantir, one of them being called META. And if you didn't get a chance to catch that live, I was spending some time walking through the artificial intelligence and how the forecasts with the AI have been so spot on and incredibly accurate as we've come accustomed to here at VantagePoint. The forecasts are up to 87.4% accurate, and what we've been able to do is use AI for the last 36 years now to generate highly accurate forecasts. And I wanted to give you a quick update really quickly on Palantir and META. The update comes down to what did the AI say, when did it say it, and what is it saying right now about these two stocks. If you take a look at the screen, you can see where on the screen we had some very clear forecasts. I'm going to get a pen really quickly. And by the way, if you're here and you're in the live, welcome. I see a couple of people have signed in. Hit me up in the chat. Let me know that you're here and you're interested in these updates so I can make sure to say hi to you. And if you're a VantagePoint family member, let me know that as well. That's what we call the users of the VantagePoint software. My name is Daniel. I'm with VantagePoint AI, and we're looking at some very, very powerful forecasts. So you can see here, this is Palantir Technologies. You can see the dates we're looking at. This update came out for the forecast for today and for the next couple of days. And when VantagePoint predicted Palantir, the most recent time for some bullishness is right here on this day. And in the live yesterday, I was talking specifically about how the artificial intelligence generates its forecasts and what it's forecasting. And in this case, this blue line crossing the gray line and the shaded area here going from red to green indicates that there was some bullishness expected in Palantir. For you swing traders and you options traders out there, I got to tell you, that's a very, very powerful forecast. Hey, Rick, I see that. That's fantastic. I see you met with Nikki, our head trainer today. Rick, glad you're here. This forecast right here was clear. It was evident that the AI was indicating there was some bullishness in the Palantir trend. And the neural index, for those of you that know what this indicator is, this is a strength prediction generated from the artificial intelligence, also gave us that clear indication of bullishness. We also utilize some indicators to help you understand when there's some bullish momentum in that stock. And these are great market condition readings for that individual stock, and they're forecasting 1 to 3 days in advance from a momentum standpoint. I walked through all of this in detail yesterday, and I thought after going through that and seeing what happened with Palantir today, it would be good for everybody to have the most recent update. And you can see, as long as that blue line stayed above that gray line, Palantir was expected to move higher even through earnings and even into the day today. So what VantagePoint was forecasting, because the blue line was above the gray line, was forecasting bullishness. There was still bullishness and strength in the trend, and the momentum indicators were still creating higher lows. These higher lows indicate that there was still some bullishness expected, and momentum still had the opportunity to push Palantir higher. Well, when you stop and you think about that, these forecasts that updated at 6:30 last night and will be updating here again in about 15 minutes for tomorrow's trade day were saying that we could expect Palantir to move higher. They were also saying that there was a potential for Palantir to have a lower low and a lower high. That doesn't mean the market's going to be a down day. That doesn't mean things are going to fall. It just means that you could expect Palantir to be lower than it was the day before, but yet still end up higher from a pricing standpoint, even though it did not take out yesterday's high. This came out at 6:30 last night. If you go look at Palantir right now, and I don't know if you've got your broker's platform open, but the low was 110. The low for Palantir today was 110, and the high was 117.59. So in all cases, VantagePoint indicated that the trend was expected to be higher. There was still strength in price, but that wasn't going to be a major rally, but still some bullishness with a low and a high lower than the previous day. Check your platform, folks. That's exactly what happened with Palantir today. Ended up with a higher price, Palantir on the day ended up about 4% higher. I got a close right now that I'm looking at about 117.39. So if I go to my VantagePoint software and I look at 117.39, we can see that we got a lower high than the previous day, just like VantagePoint was saying, and bullishness. So the question that you might have is, where is Palantir expected to go? Well, this forecast tells us there's a little bit of weakening in the trend, still overall a bullish trend. But after that performance today from Palantir and what VantagePoint indicated and what we did in our YouTube live yesterday, I had to hop on really quickly and just show you the output and how valuable that output can be. Now, if there's anybody in this session right now that's trading Palantir or looking at Palantir, if you don't have the VantagePoint software, you're using some sort of indicators, and you can certainly use those indicators. Just know from an AI standpoint, we're still seeing some overall bullishness, but a little bit of weakening in that bullishness. So nothing to be scared of, but all in all, a fantastic forecast from the artificial intelligence. Jacob's asking, could you show us the T-Cross long line as well as the Palantir and META? So Jacob is clearly a VantagePoint user. Gennaro, welcome from Mexico as well. Jacob is using other indicators that are default in the VantagePoint software. And that's when we go to the triple cross. This is a triple cross, a predicted moving average ribbon to show you what 3 predicted moving averages are saying about Palantir Technologies. And Jacob, for you, you can see that prices are way above the T-Cross long. We got a big wide gap here which is an indication of reversion to the mean. Again, bullishness left in this trend, but that bullishness is weakening. So you want to make sure you're always protecting your downside, minimizing your downside risk. Even with this powerful forecast, you can see that VantagePoint is saying, you know what? A really great trend happened here. There's still some bullishness left in it, but don't forget to protect your downside. And again, I'm not providing trading advice here. This is purely from an educational standpoint. And I think you can see that the AI forecasts were very, very valuable. As a matter of fact, if I go back to my 2-day prediction here, you can see that from that point and up until 117, roughly where it ended today, Palantir is up 60% on that single AI forecast. Again, was ending my day here at the office and I thought folks needed to see this because the AI was spot on. Now here's another one. Here's META. META platforms, we had a really great crossover there. You can see that back on 122. The trend was already up substantially. Trend was moving higher, and last night you could see that VantagePoint was indicating more bullishness. The blue line, which is a predicted moving average, includes predictive information that you can't find anywhere else in the world but in VantagePoint, saying, hey, you know what? This trend is expected to continue higher. Well, then we look at the neural index, which is indicating strength. This is a predicted neural index. This is one of the patented indicators that you can get in VantagePoint. And for those of you that have it, that are in here, you know, you see it. It's indicating that there is still bullish strength left in this. Now, from a META platform standpoint, we have our 3-day momentum indicator saying there's still some predicted momentum left in there. And the 1 and the 2-day momentum indicators are weakening a bit, but all in all, the trend was expected to be up today. There was strength in that trend, and check this out. The predicted trading range for today was clearly drawn on the screen at 6:30 last night, with a predicted high around that 724 mark and a predicted low around that 714. So what you're expecting from that, and in case you're wondering where I'm getting those numbers, are right here on the screen. What you're expecting for that is you're expecting for prices to play in that range. Is it going to be to the penny? No, absolutely not. But if you know with a high degree of accuracy that the trend is expected to move higher, if you know that there is some momentum left in that trend and there's strength in price, and you have a predicted trading range for the next trade day, that gives you all the information that you need. Well, META, looks like META traded at a high today of 727 and a low of 712.60. So I'm just gonna plot that on the chart right now so that you can see that META was able to outperform that bullish forecast. We said 727.10. And I'm just putting the exact markers on the screen so you can see the range that META traded in today. Bullishness was expected with a low of 712.60. So again, I'll grab that, I'll just drag it around there. That is the actual trading range of the day for META. More bullishness than the artificial intelligence forecasted, more bullishness from a strength standpoint. And guess what? More profits in this example that we're talking about right here. If we talk about where the close was, where do we close on this? 725.38. 725.38, you can see it closed right above the predicted high with a 16% gain in 16 trading days, folks. That's a percent a day on the underlying asset. This is why I wanted to just take a second of your time today. I know it was unexpected. It may not have been on your calendar, but when I see forecasts that perform this powerfully and forecasts from the AI that are able to generate these kind of gains, I had to share it with you. For you, Jacob, again, the triple cross, the T cross long is this line right here. This is the predicted moving average. That is an 18-day predicted moving average. And why it's a predicted moving average is because there are 3 days of predicted information in that formula. That is a patented formula, and what it's telling us is that prices are still above that T-cross long. There's still bullishness left in this, and we knew going into today that that was the expectation. I'm looking forward to the update here in about 8 or 9 minutes in the VantagePoint software, so I know what's expected to happen. I'll get these updates tonight. I know exactly how to play Meta. I'll know exactly how to play Palantir going into tomorrow. And that's all thanks to the artificial intelligence. So just a quick video. I just wanted to hop on live really quickly and say these forecasts have been lights out, and the artificial intelligence has been extremely valuable. And for those of you that are part of the VantagePoint family, I know you know this, but for everybody else that isn't, I had to share it. So thank you for your time this evening, and thank you for letting me give you the view from my vantage point. I hope everybody has a fantastic evening and happy trading tomorrow.